How long does a foreclosure process take in Texas? In this video, you're gonna find out. There are so many things going on with the Lone Star State. It's important you understand all of these. And like all of this video, this is information only. Don't think you're gonna go get a law degree on foreclosure by doing this, okay? That would be ridiculous. What I'm trying to do is get you above the trees so you understand what's happening. Whether you're lending money, using a property as security for that loan, or you're looking at a foreclosure, or you're in a foreclosure, or maybe you're doing a tax deed on this. Any one of those, this will help you understand kind of getting above the tree. You know, the problem is there's a lot of mystery in this, and I'm gonna clarify that mystery. By the time you're done, you'll have a very good understanding of what this is all about. Matter of fact, do this. Stick around to the very end. I got a little bonus that'll help you not only get better versed on this, but help you make some money on this also. So let's get right into this. Like, thumbs up, all that, comment. Have any questions? You know, go for it. The reason a property is going to go into foreclosure is because there was an agreement made using the property as collateral for some type of a transaction. I know that says, well, maybe some type. It's got to be a loan. Okay, I get it. For the last 30 to 40 years, the banks have gotten involved, and most people, especially those of you under 50, only understand bank loans on properties. There can be a lot of things. I could actually tie up my property to do a business loan. I could use my property as collateral for another piece of property that I'm doing, a construction loan. It can be a number of different things. There's also coming back into vogue or fashion, there's a lot of private lenders. I use private lenders all the time, and so they'll sit there and the property is what qualifies me, not me. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. I've got a property right now that I'm looking at. $134,000 is the purchase price on the property. ARV, after rehab value, is around, call it 575. I'm more comfortable with that. In that neighborhood, okay? Call it 600 for easy math. So $600,000, it's gonna need a minimum of $220,000 or less, but let's just do that, or excuse me, a maximum of $225,000. What I would do, because of my experience, I'm not gonna borrow the money basically on my credit. The property is, so to speak. So the private lender is gonna go in there and go, what do you got? Well, I got a property that I bought for $134,000. I need $225,000 to fix it up. It's gonna be worth, roughly $600,000. Here's the documentation to show you all that. It's the project that's qualifying me. I mean, again, I'm being exaggerated. I could have robbed a bank tomorrow, but they're looking at this going, dude, if I give you $200,000, we're in it $350, almost $400. I got $200,000 worth of equity. I'm good to go. That is a really good example of that. And we can scale it back even. I've got another property that I paid $31,000 for that we put 78 into it. So call it 30 and 80. So I'm in it 110. It's worth 250. And so other people say, well, why wouldn't you just use your own money to do that? Why would I? That's like saying, why wouldn't I use my own lumber to do the remodel? Well, why? Because you have to buy it from Home Depot. Yeah. I'm not doing a 30-year mortgage. What I'm doing is I'm getting $80,000 to complete the project. Let's say I'm paying, I don't know, say 12%. It's going into my analysis of the property. Okay, just so everybody understands how that works. If it cost me $3,000 for that 80 grand, what I didn't do is put all of my capital into that property. So now I've only got one deal, okay? When I don't use my own money for that deal, I've got $80,000 in capital that I can go do another deal. Just get out of the box here a little bit. So I'm going, oh, okay. The way I look at it is that 12% or whatever that is, and I'm just making up numbers here. Let's say that it cost me with points and everything $6,000. That's like saying I'm not going to do the deal because they're charging me for the lumber on the rehab or the roof or whatever. I'm making up stuff. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. The problem is you got to get out of that mentality. Is I'm borrowing the money for a long term. Now, what you have to be careful with is if the market collapses like it did in 08, 09, you're sitting there with a property that's not worth a whole lot, and you get a private lender that's upset at you, what have you. Look, I got a lot of stuff on this. You can hit the links down below. And I've got a free course exactly on this, but let's keep going with this. Let's talk about the different foreclosure processes in Texas specifically. In Texas, you have to be delinquent for 30 days. That means nothing will happen for 30 days. That doesn't mean it automatically happens in 30 days. What happens means you can't take action unless it's been delinquent 30 days. Timeline can be extended, even if that's the case, if there's complications. You know, we just had an election, I don't know when you're watching this, but they always talk about the red states, the blue states, and all this. And why does that have to do with mortgages? Because Texas is pretty aggressive against the borrowers, against renters and stuff like that. So it's a place I like to do business because the Texas has the investor's best interest at heart. And well, they should. I mean, if somebody stops making their payments, they stop making their payments. Now, if I'm foreclosing on the property, I want to find out the why behind it so I can figure out, can I work with this property owner? The sooner the better. So as soon as that 30 days goes in, I'm going to start kicking things into action. Because if there's a situation that I can get them out of, the sooner I can do that, the better that is. If I wait longer, all that's happening to that hole is getting deeper for them to get out of. So the first missed payments go from there. After 90 days of the missed payments, lenders will wait to do an NDO, which is a notice of default. The notice of default has to go out. There has to be a 21-day cooling off period. And then it goes to foreclosure. Now, those of you that have been to auctions with me in the Texas area, we're there all the time, at least 5 or 6 times a year. You'll know that there's a bunch of sales going on. I'm saying be careful. That's a foreclosure. That's a homeowners association. We want to be here because it's the tax deed sale on that. So that's what's happening. Those people didn't make a payment. The county or the mortgage company or the HOA, is foreclosing on it. First Tuesday of every single month is when those are going to come up in that jurisdiction. If the borrower is struggling financially, there's some circumstances around that. There's some things that they can file to increase the time. That's why it's so important to reach out to the person immediately and find out what can you do to help out the situation on that. Whenever you're buying tax liens and tax deeds in Texas, understand there's a 6-month redemption period plus a 20% payment if it's a non-homestead, a non-primary resident, which means they haven't filed homestead exemption on that. It's like an investment property or what have you. They have to pay what you bid on the property plus a 25% penalty. At the end of 6 months, it's over. At that point, you're really not foreclosing on the property. What you're doing is you're clearing title because during that 6 months, you're starting that process. Now, if it is their primary residence, it is a 2-year redemption period. 25% the first year and 50% additional on the second year of what you bid on the property. So let me give you a picture. Let's say the opening bid is $15,000. I bid it up to $100,000. In order for that person to redeem and protect it from going into foreclosure, they would have to pay me, the investor, $100,000 plus 25%, so $125,000. If they don't, within that 6 months, I get the property. If it's their primary residence, it would be 2 years or 25% penalty the first year and 50% the second year. This is why I always tell people, if it goes to auction, they're not going to redeem. I mean, think about it. Why didn't they redeem at $15,000? So now they not only owe the back taxes, but another $85,000 plus another 25% on top of that. The other beautiful thing about Texas, if I'm buying a tax deed there, during that redemption period, I have possession of the property. I can rent the property out. If it needs rehab, I can rehab the property. And any cost that I've got involved in rehabbing that property becomes part of the total. Another reason they're not going to redeem. So if I've got $30,000 in mop and glop and paint in there, guess what? They owe me now $130,000 plus 25% using that last example. A lot of big things happen in Texas, just not football. Sorry. I think the Cowboys are going to take state this year, coming from a Niners fan, okay? I'm going to hear something about that. Listen, if you want more information, like I said, I've got an incredible course, brand new, still in the box, all that good stuff. Hit the link down below. It's my gift to you, higginsmethod.com, higginsmethod.com, and we'll see y'all out there. Good luck.